Always good to be here on a Monday after a win. Definitely some things we need to continue to improve on. But that can be said regardless of the game that you play the previous week. And some things that I know that we need to continue to work with is we got to find ways to get better at the tailback run game. We got to start faster defensively. Felt like we were a little flat early. Might have been a direct reflection of a couple of our practices defensively this week. Have to do a better job tackling and keeping the cup. I thought there was too many missed tackles, too many missed cups out there. We just was a little bit inconsistent in that area. Of course, the penalties, we need to clean those up, or at least clean up the ones that I find are inexcusable, and that would be false starts, offsides, personal fouls, anything that has to do with formations, things that we can control. To sit here and complain about PIs and holding calls, from week to week, those things, they're subjective. What one person thinks is pass interference, the next doesn't, and I can't control those things, and so there's no reason for me to really lose a lot of sleep over those. But the other ones we do need to clean up, and then I think we just got to have better practice mentality this week. We talk about starting fast. We need to start fast on Monday too. We can't just wait till Thursday or Friday afternoon to crank it back up. I don't think we're at that stage as a football program right now. We still have too many inexperienced and immature players that we got to expect a lot out of them early in the week to get their best. I'll open it up for questions.
Rarely say that you've had a bad practice or a week, so that caught you by surprise, or can you just give me more detail?
Thursday, I thought defensively we had a very average practice. I guess I won't say bad, but I thought it was very average for what our standard is, and so it was probably one of those once in a career moves. We actually dressed out and had helmets on Friday to try to rectify a little bit or to gain some people's attention. And I think it worked. But, again, like I said, I think if you want to start fast, you need to start fast on Monday. You can't wait till Thursday.
Rectify it then? Is it a leadership thing or is it?
Oh, I think it's probably – I'm going to put it on myself. I'm going to challenge the guys and probably get after a little bit this week. Sometimes the truth hurts, and that's my job as the head football coach to make sure that I can be transparent and give them the information they need.
Your starting quarterback.
Excuse me?
Starting quarterback on Saturday.
At this time, we haven't made the decision. I think we have Quincy on the two deep. So,
did you talk with your coaches today? As you said you were going to.
Of course, we have conversation. We need to make sure that everyone's healthy first too, and so that's a full Monday's process right now. Quincy took a big shot, if you remember, on the scramble on our sideline. Yep. It was a shoulder-to-shoulder hit, so I think we just want to make sure that he's doing okay there with that injury first. And once we find out the details from our medical staff, we'll move forward.
Part of the reason why he came out of the game on Saturday was a possible injury, or was it performance-related?
Oh, I think a little bit of it, probably both. Potentially the shoulder might have affected his performance. You probably saw, if you were paying attention keenly to the sideline, very seldom do our quarterbacks throw on the sideline. You probably saw him throwing a couple of different times during the game. I know during halftime he got kind of stiff. Later in the game he was getting stiff and he kept trying to keep his arm warm. So we'll kind of go day by day and see how he's doing. But I know after the game he was in great spirits, and I anticipate he'll be in practice.
What would it be to not at least have Cam as part of the game plan after that performance on Saturday?
I guess I'm not sure. I think we're going to make the decision based on who's going to help us win this football game the best. Of course, health is always a critical piece to that, but Cam did an outstanding job. I think there isn't a person on our football team that doesn't anticipate he can't help us win games. I think I said that all the way back in August, that any three of our quarterbacks could help us win a football game, and Cam does a great job of preparing. He does a great job of assisting the other quarterbacks in his preparation, and I think we're extremely fortunate to have him as a Bison.
Do you handle the emotional side, the mental health side of these young players when they go through something like this? And I think it's something that you get to talk a little bit more about these days that maybe they didn't talk about even 10 years ago. But when you're handling quarterbacks in this situation, it's your second season now dealing with putting another quarterback in that we just haven't seen at NDSU in a while. How are you approaching that with these guys?
Well, just trying to be as transparent, as honest and truthful as we can as far as the information. So when we made the original decision, there was no holding back. We told everyone why we were making the decisions, what things that people need to continue to work on. Saturday, we felt like it was the right time to make a move. We just threw an interception. I think there was a quick turnaround. We had a pick. Had anticipated trying to get Cam even a little bit sooner, but I think because of the speed of the game and the back-to-back turnovers, we hadn't quite got to him everything that we wanted to, and so we put Quincy out there for one more series. But at the end, we felt like Cam was going to help us win games. We needed a shot in the arm, if you will, and he provided that.
To Quincy since?
I saw him up in the office in the evening. Normal conversation. Yeah, we're going to move on.
And a kid.
Yeah, he wasn't going to let it bother him. He was great on the sideline. He was, cheering for his teammates. He wanted to win. So, and that's what we expect.
Quincy's performance throughout the season, not just Saturday night, but up until, the whole 7 games.
I think he's done a good job. I mean, very few quarterbacks in the country can say they're 7-0. So I have a tough time sitting here and talking about, what's good, what's bad. I think there's areas of improvement that we can continue to work on. I think he's done a great job of allowing himself to expand his knowledge of our playbook as we've gone through the season. There's been more and more put on him. You see more and more quarterback run game that's involved, more and more communication pieces that need to take place at the line of scrimmage, and just seeing the pictures. He's done a great job of being a student of the game. He's in our facility all the time with Coach Hedberg, with our offensive staff, and anticipate he'll keep getting better.
You mentioned earlier you wanted to improve the traditional run game, getting the running backs through the hole. Is there one place where you've seen where maybe that struggled a little bit?
Well, I just think it's just the consistency up front. I think we need better play out of the Rams. I think we need better play out of the crew chiefs at times. I don't know if we've played our best football within those two. When I say crew chiefs, tight ends, fullbacks, I don't know if we played our best football within those two areas. And I just have huge expectations for those two rooms. You talk about the tight end, fullbacks. They're as veteran of a group as we have on the team. When you talk about Babbage, Gindorf, and Lipke, and then the offensive line, I think that position group emulates what we want to be and who we are as a program. And so you're always fighting for consistency and trying to push the envelope within that room. And they've done an excellent job. I just think we need to be more consistent from play to play.
I'm bringing Saturday night that Quincy didn't, or was there something? I mean, how did you view Cam's performance?
He made some throws. He did a great job of being decisive, stepping up in the pocket when he needed to. And on that Y Alabama, we had a little bit of pressure off to his right, stepped up, threw a great ball to Phoenix in the back of the end zone. He made the touchdown pass to Christian. That was a sight adjust. He changed the route. He saw press coverage and knew that he had a big time wide receiver there. And that's a play that guys who want to play in the NFL, like I know Christian does, they need to make.
His first touchdown in 2 seasons. How big was that moment for him?
I think for him it was bigger than probably what he anticipated. He's battled through the knee injury, and then of course with the knee injury, probably came back a little bit too soon, had a little bit of a hamstring issue through fall camp. And he's such a competitive and wants to be involved in everything type of individual that there was probably some frustration at times. He's starting to get the ball a little bit more, having some big plays. We saw it against, he had a big play against Towson, had a couple catches against Illinois State, but to finally get back in the end zone, I couldn't be happier for a young man like him.
I'd say about him just to be able to hang through all those moments and then finally
I think he's done a great job of handling each and every day, each moment. He goes back and just keeps working. I think that's one of the things that you see with a lot of our leadership and a lot of our veterans on our team. One of the things that I'll continue to preach is if you don't like your circumstances, then work harder. Get after it a little more. Change the narrative if you don't like it.
The tight end group, obviously you expect Christian to win a lot of matchups, but to people like us, Gindorf and Babbage seem like these massive mismatches, not getting a ton of looks in the passing game. Is that something that you guys see after you break down the game, or are you kind of happy with their, I guess, target distribution?
Well, I think you always want to try to utilize your best players as much as you can, but we don't want to just target people just to say we're targeting them. They need to be open. It needs to be in the progression. I don't know if we ever go into a game and have a route concept saying, hey, you have to throw it to the tight end. We're going to throw it based on, is the middle of the field open? Is it closed? Is there pressure? Where's the best matchup that we have, or where is the most efficient throw?
Seeing people attack you a little bit differently, because there was a stretch there for a year, maybe 2, 3 seasons, where it felt like the tight ends were, you think about Trey's first year, it seemed like the tight ends got like all the receptions there for a while. Is that because teams are targeting you guys differently, playing defense differently?
I think we're seeing this year so far, and that's all I'm going to kind of comment on. I think we're seeing a lot more man coverage, a lot more single high defense, and people trying to challenge us to throw those or to run man beaters out there. And so we've been able to hit on a few at different times, but we got to be more consistent in those. And we also have to be able to throw the quick game, which I think can loosen people up and get them out of that type of coverage.
Told us for years that the Valley is one of the best and it's one of the tightest. And we see that in the rankings every year. We see that in the wins and their, your guys' presence in the playoffs. Is this as tight as it's felt to you in recent history, or?
I don't know if I can say yes or no on that question. I haven't watched a lot of the teams out there. If we haven't played them, I haven't probably really paid a lot of attention to what they're doing.
And in the games you have played,
I think in the games we've played, what have we played 3 or 4 ranked teams already this year? I do think there's good coaching in this league. I think our league does a good job of recruiting and trying to develop talent. So I think that says a lot about the administrations and the coaching staffs that are out there.
the same things that it's always been. We're just kind of seeing, I feel like we're seeing the bottom of the valley isn't quite so far away anymore.
Yeah, hard to say. Hard to say.
If Cam ends up being the starter, either because of injury to Quincy or you guys make a different decision, how concerned would you be to lose Quincy's running ability? Because he's maybe been your best runner in some of the games to have that.
Yeah, it's always going to be a factor, something that you got to take into account when and if the decision is going to be made to change things.
Of that, Quincy's a guy that absorbs a lot of contact with how big he is with the injury. Will that be a point of emphasis to maybe get him down a little bit sooner or try to not seek as much contact so he can save himself a little bit more?
Well, there's always games that you have different scenarios. 2019 playoff game against Illinois State, Trey was beat up. Everything we did was under center, trying to get him out of that, out of the defensive sight line. So, those are just adjustments you have to make week in and week out. Injuries happen, guys. Every team in the country right now is battling with injuries. So you can't in 1 week just reinvent who you want to be overnight. We're still going to have to continue to do what we do. It's what we have in. We can't go back and reinstall a different playbook at this time.
Injuries, how close is Wirtz?
He's not. He'll be out for the season. He's injured. Hoping every day today. He was at the game too, Mike. I know you made a comment that you didn't see him at all. He was there. He was on the sideline. He wasn't dressed, but he was there. James Kaiser.
Say that.
Okay, maybe I miss. Okay, I thought you said that you didn't see him out there. Okay. Any question? We good? Thanks, guys.